Here's how to raise your child in Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. Your child raising journey starts at the end of Chapter 1 when you marry your chosen spouse and start talking about growing your family. You can choose which gender your child will be or leave it up to the game to decide for you. When Chapter 2 rolls in, you'll be greeted with a cutscene of your toddler and the start of your parenting life. You will see your child in the resident info and can look at their current likes and abilities. You can check on the child's interests to see the progress of their likes and abilities. Your child's highest ability will determine the ending you'll have with your child by the end of Chapter 6. And your child will need to have a high like for them to increase their ability. Each marriage candidate's child will have their own top 3 interests. Cecilia's child will have farming, ranching, and academics. Lumina's child will have music, art, and academics. Molly's child will have athletics, ranching, and music. Nami's child will have art, academics, and farming. Gordy's child will have art, academics, and athletics. Gustafa's child will have music, academics, and farming. Matthew's child will have farming, ranching, and academics. Rock's child will have athletics, ranching, and music. You can let your child grow naturally with their interests, but you can influence your child's likes to get the ending you want. The toddler stage is the most important part of their childhood. This is when you can do a lot of things to influence their interests. But don't forget to increase your friendship with your child at this stage, as it's also important if you want your child to be happy with you when they grow up. Hold your toddler to increase their friendship. When talking to your toddler, sometimes they will ask you to hold them and the pick up button will change into a hold button. Once they're held, you can talk, snuggle, lullaby, and toss up. All of these actions will increase your friendship with your toddler. And 3 of these actions will increase their like for a certain interest. Snuggle increases farming and ranching. Lullaby increases music. Toss up increases athletics. Now, if your toddler isn't asking you to hold them, you can pick up your toddler and bring them with you wherever you go. Bringing your toddler to a specific place can increase their like for a certain interest. Bring your toddler to the coop, barn, and pasture to increase ranching. Bring your toddler to your fields and Vesta's farm to increase farming. Bring your toddler to Sully's house to increase athletics. Bring your toddler to the twins' house, Gordy's yard, and the villa to increase art. Bring your toddler to Gustafa's yurt, the Bluebird Cafe, and the villa to increase music. Bring your toddler to Daryl's lab and the dig site to increase academics. You can also talk to the villagers while holding your toddler. And befriending them also has an influence on their interests. Befriend Takakura to increase ranching. Befriend Vesta and Takakura to increase farming. Befriend Sully and Hugh to increase athletics. Befriend Charlie, Cole, and Gordy to increase art. Befriend Gustafa, Lumina, and Romana to increase music. Befriend Daryl, Carter, and Flora to increase academics. And while you still have your toddler in your hands, you can bring them with you to work. You can perform activities in front of your toddler, as it can also increase their like for a certain interest. Just put them down near where you're going to do your activity and they'll automatically try to walk back home. Make sure you are in their line of sight while doing an action. Taking care of your animals increases ranching. Taking care of your crops increases farming. Jumping on fences and riding your horse increases athletics. Using the milker and clippers increases academics. Other than showing your toddler how you work, you can also show items to your toddler. You will need to show them the relevant item to increase their like for a certain interest. Showing animal products, animal feed, the brush, and your animals increases ranching. Showing crops, the hoe, the sickle, the watering can, and your plants increases farming. Showing the milker, the clippers, and dig site items increases academics. Showing of items, count once per day per item. Make sure to answer correctly if they talk to you about an item. Next, if you notice the blue box next to their bed, that is their toy box. And you can choose your toddler's toy. There are 4 toys that they can play with, and each of them will increase their like for a certain interest. The drawing pad increases art, the ball increases athletics, the toy car increases academics, and the toy blocks increases academics and art. The drawing pad is already in the toy box when you start Chapter 2, and the ball, toy car, and toy blocks can be bought from Vans starting spring of Chapter 2. Make sure to only put in the toy that will increase the interest that you want. Otherwise, you have to remove everything inside the toy box. Also, there's a festival that can increase ranching and farming. You can make a wish in the Starlight Concert on Winter 5. There will be new choices for your wish starting from Chapter 2. You will see an increase in the progress of their interests when you wake up the next day, indicated by the yellow color in the bar. A lot of progress increase will happen when a chapter ends. So don't worry if it looks like the progress is slow during the middle of the chapter. In the child stage, your child won't allow you to hold them anymore and you can't bring them with you. So the things you can do with your child to influence their interests have lessened. But you can still show items to your child. And if your child likes the item, they can now ask you to gift it to them, which you should do so you can increase your friendship. Again, make sure to answer correctly if they talk to you about an item. Speaking of showing items, you can receive gifts from some of the villagers starting from chapter 3. And you can show the gift from the villager to your child to increase their like for a certain interest. To get these items, you must have high friendships with the villagers and talk to them when they're in their homes. You can get a gold medal from Sully, which increases athletics. You can get a tom-tom drum from Gustafa, which increases music. You can get an odd sheet music from Romana, which increases music. You can get a firework from Cole, which increases academics. And you can get a necklace from Flora, which increases academics. There is also an event with your child when you enter their bedroom, which can influence their interests. You have to choose your answer carefully in your child's event. This will only happen during chapter 3, and the event will be different depending on whether your child has a tree branch or a wooden box in their bedroom. If you answer correctly in the tree branch event, you'll increase art. If you answer correctly in the wooden box event, you'll increase academics. There will be a lot of progress increase in their interest from this event, so if you don't want to increase art or academics, I suggest you just ignore your child. And now for the teenager stage. Your teenager may be a bit rebellious and may want to distance themselves from you. But that's okay, they still love you as long as their relationship meter is high. And your teenager's interests are probably starting to settle by this point. But you can still show items and gifts to your teenager to influence their interests. You will see your teenager going to places that are related to their interests. And you may see an event about your teenager's highest ability. There's not much for you to do at this stage now that your child is growing up. And finally, the adult stage. Your child will move on from the rebellious stage and will be much more independent. Their interests are most likely pretty much set already, but that doesn't mean it's over. Don't stop showing them items and gifts if you think you still need to increase their interests. Just because they're grown up doesn't mean you can't influence them through items and gifts anymore. You still have until chapter 6 to nudge them to the ending you want with your child. And that's it. Do you have some child raising tips you'd like to share? Share your thoughts and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and you can check out our other videos here. Bye!